And we are live on another umbraCoffee episode 007, James Bond edition, as I've named it. And we have Mike with us today. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
And as usual, me and Callum and our guests will go through the community updates and news from the past week. So from where we can start? We can start from Umbraco 7.7.8 release, which was released this week. Anyone from you had opportunity to play with it, to install it, or to test it?
Nope. It looks like a pretty run-of-the-mill update, to be honest. Nothing hugely different. Quite a few back office improvements. Some minor bug fixes, really.
Yep.
I'll upgrade a site when I get a chance.
19 issues were fixed and tasked, and there are 2 new features, and we can all preview all of it in the nice tool for version comparing, so we can see what has changed. And yeah, we encourage everyone to update and to check what has changed and to use the latest version of Umbraco. What else we've got from this week, Callum?
So TerraType, we were just discussing TerraType a minute ago before we went live. So TerraType, for those that don't know, is a map package built by Jonathan Richards. Gives you Google Maps in the back office, Bing Maps, all kinds of maps, loads of different things. There's different providers for each one. Jonathan's released a new version of that this week. It looks, yeah, it's a good package. If you've not used it, go download it. It's got a lot of downloads. It's quite popular. Very flexible for maps. Got the latest update. It includes some bug fixes, some new styles for the Google Maps, a few other settings, that sort of thing.
It's pretty sweet. It's the sort of thing that could have used or have known about half a year ago.
Yeah. There's also this new package layout editor from JMMJ in Poland, who we know quite well.
Yep, our friends released the new package, and we had this opportunity to help them to do it. It's their first package and the first open source stuff which they are releasing. So I'm more than happy that they've done it, and they've spotted possible something interesting in their project and decided to share it with community. So that's good. Let's check it out. I haven't played with it yet. I'm going to install it and check their work. I'm pretty sure that it's good, and they will demo it on the New York meetup. I can't remember the date, but it's in the next week or the week after that. So,
to me, it looks kind of like the grid from what I'm seeing, but it's specifically for embedding macros, like nested macros in a page.
From what I know, it's about rendering the final result of the macros in the grid directly. So it's for editors to preview how it will look on the real site directly in the grid.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's play with it. It's a new package from this week. And yeah, we've had an Umbraco newsletter with a lot of interesting announcements. And first of them was the U profile, which is back right now, and Umbraco is looking for interesting people who will be described and will have the U profile. I've checked the list of the current available U profiles. There's a lot of famous people from the community. And so from what I saw, also Umbraco is open for suggestions. So everyone can suggest anyone. Yeah, so maybe we can, I didn't suggest anyone yet, but I know some people who are who deserve profiles. Do you have profile, Mike? Or
Yeah, I've submitted a couple of people.
Nice one. For those that don't know, the U profile is it was a previous set of blog posts around just highlighting some members in the Umbraco community, well-known people, lesser-known people, and they're kind of wanting to reboot that. We have people, anyone from Ismail, our own Ismail, to Pete Duncanson, Kevin, Heather Floyd, lots of people around the community. It ran for a couple of, how many posts is it? 15, 18 posts in 16 back in 2015. So they're rebooting that for 2018. Be good to see some new faces on there. maybe some lesser known people. Be good to learn about the kind of work that they're doing or their experience with Umbraco.
Yeah, it's worth to mention that from our feedback form, which we are sharing every time underneath the video, we've had an income about and question about inviting people who are less known in the community. So definitely, it's something worth of doing, and this is something what we definitely will do in the future.
Yeah,
so it's not only about the faces every time, right?
If you want to come on and to the umbraCoffee, it's completely chilled. We don't really plan anything. You don't have to prepare anything. It's just rock up and have a chat. Send us a message on Twitter or an email or whatever, saying you want to join in, and we'll be happy to have you.
Great, they give you a list of stuff to talk about. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, just fill the form underneath the video. I thought about your profile just shortly. I thought that it will be a profile for everyone who is registered on the hour.
Yes, that's what I thought.
And everyone will be able to fill the answers for the questions as it's done on the meetup.com, for example, right? When you're going to the person on meetup.com, you can see the answers for questions related with the group. That might be an idea for the future. We have more than 200,000 users on our. And there's a lot of interesting people everywhere.
Yeah, something that I asked Niels about in his Ask Me Anything at UK Fest was, when are they going to finally unify all of the Umbraco accounts together? Because right now I've got one for umbraco.com for training, Umbraco Cloud. I've got one for our Umbraco, and they're all completely inconsistent. They don't talk to each other, different usernames and passwords everywhere. It's a mess. He said they're working on it. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe that's what I've been waiting for. No, it's not. But as Marcin said, it would be great to introduce a feature like this or something to our Umbraco. Make the profiles a little bit more rich. I did a pull request last year that adds additional labels to people's profiles, like if you're a master, for example. And I think it'd be great to make the our Umbraco profiles just slightly more personal.
An Umbraco Owen provider.
Single sign-on.
Single sign-on. Going further, we had also an announcement about Umbraco Awards. So maybe it's a material or a pull request or feature on which can bring someone closer to Umbraco Award. And there's a form and link where you can submit your ideas and your current or past work to those categories: best cloud solution, best custom solution. There's a lot of new categories this year. Package award, which is something interesting for everyone who is working on packages. And there's something new, which is an Umbraco award for best gold partner solution. I didn't see it in the past. I don't know if you saw it. So the rules are here. The link is here. Feel free to submit your inquiries to this form.
Yeah, they've got new categories compared to last year. They had 5 categories last year. They've now got 10. So I'm not entirely sure. I think there's a blog post that describes the new ones, but they're trying to cover a few different bases. The one that stuck out to me was this Umbraco award for best new tech, such as using VR, AR, 3D printing, robots, or the example they gave, how you connected your grandmother's Tesla to Umbraco. Just some kind of funky ways of people using Umbraco for different purposes, and that's I look forward to seeing what gets nominated for that.
Yeah, that'll bring up some really interesting projects, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Really interesting.
And Mike, you've played with WebVR and Umbraco lately, right?
I have, yeah. I've been looking at VR just in general for a couple of years now, and it's always interesting to see how you can merge things into WebVR space. What I'm really interested in, probably this year, it might not be until next year that it really comes into fruition, but the web AR they're working on, it's a slightly more complex set of problems than VR, but it's the business opportunities for AR solutions. I think will be really, really cool to see. But yeah, it's an ever-evolving area of interest.
Yeah, it's particularly interesting. And also, Mike, last year I know that Yo-Yo were up for nominated for an Umbraco award as well. So
yeah, we're nominated for the jury award, I think.
Nice.
The other side, great.
So maybe are you in a position maybe to discuss like the process about how you went through submitting that project?
Yeah, so I'll try and remember. So what we did internally was we sort of put together a big document going through all the criteria that Umbraco asked for. They actually give you all the information you need. I think we actually put together a video as well, just going through some of our processes from start to finish. Yeah, I think that was. It's quite hard to remember. It's quite a year ago, and there was quite a lot involved, you know. But yeah, it was just everyone sort of got involved in writing their little bits. So we had, I think the Run Together site was up for, I think we submitted 3 actually the awards, and each person either contributed the tech work they did, and then it would be the project management design, and everyone sort of pitched in their experience into the submission. It's definitely worth doing. It's good fun.
Fantastic. So yeah, pretty easy to submit. Then you just maybe bring your project team together, find the best bits of the project, things you've done fantastically well, note them down, get some nice pictures and maybe a video together, and submit it. The rules are it has to have been created since Code Garden last year, so early June last year. It has to have launched since then. You don't have to be attending Code Garden to enter, so you can just submit anything. Even if you're not going, you might still win. And submissions close on the 4th of April this year. But as Marcin said, we'll put a link in the description. There's a button on that page where you can just hit submit, fill in the form, put your details in, submit yourself for various awards. You can't submit other people's work for an award, sadly. They have to submit their own work. So you may have to, if you think someone's Umbraco award worthy, prompt them to submit their work to the Umbraco Awards.
And ceremony looks like the Oscars one, so it's worth to be participate on that. Yeah, let's skip to another news. We've had Rune just before Christmas, and he mentioned a lot of interesting plans and I know resolutions for New Year for the new year. And Umbraco is going live as well on January 23rd. At 4 p.m. Central European time, and Niels and Anders will talk about Umbraco's plans and, I don't know, achievements, goals for 2018. So you can add calendar invite or Google Calendar invite from here, and it will be on Zoom, so everyone can join and attend the live meeting and ask questions probably about everything Umbraco related. Maybe something about our next topic and news, Callum?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, this was announced a little while ago, but there was a new certification course, or I say new, they've reworked one of the existing certification courses, the Extending the Backoffice course, into an online version of the course, like they've done with the Fundamentals course as well. So you can now take that online. You don't have to travel to London or wherever you are. You can attend from any place in the world. Actually, you could be sitting on a beach somewhere with your feet up and learning about AngularJS and the Umbraco Backoffice. They're running the first one on January the 31st this year. They've been doing it with the Fundamentals course for a little while, so I think they're thinking that this online version of the courses works quite well for certain types of course. Obviously, not necessarily the really hands-on, super hardcore techie ones, but the ones that are maybe a little easier to explain over a Skype call. So I think, yeah, as you mentioned, training is probably going to be quite a big focus on this hangout with Niels and Anders. When we had Rune before, he mentioned that there's potentially a couple of new training courses in the pipeline. So they may mention that too. It's I guess this hangout with Niels and Anders is going to be quite similar to the Uni Corner that Niels and Rune did back in September or October, where they discussed what's happening, what's going on, took some questions from the audience too. Yeah, training is definitely going to be something that they'll discuss, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we had also a huge discussion on Umbracian Slack, which probably can be also part of a question or something else directly to the Umbraco HQ, because it was about pricing and everything related to suits, which how this department in Umbraco is named. And yeah, I haven't seen this discussion for a while. I've jumped there after some tweets from Pete and Niels, and yeah, it's interesting how people and everyone is just understanding things and everything Umbraco related, and not only Umbraco related, because it's all about open source, pricing, and money from this business. What's your thoughts, guys, about it?
It's quite an interesting one, because it's essentially what it comes down to, or this thing that went over on Slack, was the prices for the courier license went up, and some people came back saying, why has it gone up so much? Which I think is a bit. Sometimes people forget that although Umbraco, the CMS, is open source, Umbraco themselves are still a business. They still need to, they're employing new people to offer the great support they're doing on Umbraco Cloud. They're constantly improving their services. They need to be able to fund that, and increasing the cost of some of their products to enable the support of their business is something that they're going to do. It's the way you run a business. If you're not bringing in the money, the business goes under and no one gets Umbraco. And I think sometimes, because people are so used to Umbraco being free, they, as a product, they forget that there's actually a team of people behind it who work. They deserve to get paid for the work they do. It's sometimes can be a reminder. I think that people don't always know how to react in the most appropriate way.
Yeah, I feel like I say this every single week we're on umbraCoffee, but Niels has said it a few times that a really, really well-funded Umbraco HQ means a far better open source project. So they've got these kind of commercial focused products, Umbraco Cloud, licenses for Umbraco Forms and Courier or Umbraco Deploy, but those help sustain them hiring people like Shannon, hiring the new CTO like Jacob, hiring people like Morton, etc. Umbraco MVPs, people that are, like Microsoft MVPs, people who are probably very, very well sought after. They've got a fantastic kick-ass team, and they need to fund them in some way, and it makes our open source project a lot better. Also, from a technical standpoint, like Umbraco Deploy has improved leaps and bounds since it, like a couple of years ago when Courier was 199 euros or whatever it was. It justifies that additional price hike. People on the Slack were saying, "Oh, it's about people they're just trying to like get more money and trying to convince people to use cloud, or punishing people for wanting to use the Umbraco Deploy technology away from cloud." And I think that's the complete wrong way of thinking about this, really. That it's a product, it sustains the project. You're getting a lot of value from it. If you feel the value to use that product, pay for it. If you don't want to use the product, just don't.
I've jumped into the open source movement, and not Umbraco related only here in Poland. I've attended some hackathons and meetups as well, and there is a lot of people who are thinking that open source projects are usually 2 or 3 guys sitting after work and doing magic, and will be able to respond you for every issue, anything, every time, and just requiring things and anything from open source creators, and that's not working this way. Usually there is a business behind it, as you've mentioned it, and Umbraco is a huge company right now. It's not 2-3 guys sitting in the garage doing code. And it should be pretty clear that it should be funded somehow. And yeah, it was mentioned multiple times. The price spike was it's a first spike during the couple years back.
Yeah.
And from this time to this time, Umbraco grows massively, and will be still growing. So it's an open issue, and it will be always an issue, I think. What Niels asked is just to encourage community and everyone who will observe any point of, disappointment or mistaken or wrong understanding of the business, and will feel that it's wrong, just stand out for Umbraco and just answer to those, or mention someone who will be able to just put a clear situation and answer for those doubts and things. That should be probably something which we all should do.
Neil said that we should really try and deal with people's concerns like this in a nice, friendly way. So say like, oh, I think maybe, yeah, okay, I appreciate maybe it's maybe priced you out of using this product now, but maybe there's an alternative solution. Maybe someone from HQ could step in and help out. If you see it on Twitter, whatever, don't fuel any hate. Don't shout at them or swear at them or whatever. But just kind of,
just educating people.
Educate people.
Sometimes people just aren't aware of the full situation. As soon as they understand, then it's like, oh, okay, well, it may mean that Courier's not available for, say, all the freelance developers, but there's Umbraco Cloud, which now offers a whole package solution.
And for less than €50 or £50 a month, you can have that set up with 2 environments deploying your files and all your content, and you don't even have to worry about it. For a freelancer, I'd say that that's pretty accessible for one of your clients, and you pass the cost on. For someone that is not a freelancer, like an agency, Courier maybe is a better solution if you want to roll your own. You've maybe got some really, really strict requirements around what you can do with the infrastructure. For a public sector client, for example, well, that's fine. You pay the license fee. It's not that big in the grand scheme of things, and you pass the cost on again. Someone I saw on the Slack channel also mentioning, or if you're an Umbraco Gold partner, you get all of those licenses for free, and you can pass those on to your clients too. So,
but still, you don't need to invest anything if you want to just use Umbraco, which is still a free and open source CMS, which is probably the biggest hidden value of all of it. So you are not forced to use Umbraco Cloud. You are not forced to switch from normal installation of Umbraco to Umbraco Cloud or to use any of those tools if you don't want to or you don't need to. So that's all. But if you are able to support Umbraco this way, just do it. And don't. If you want to spend those money for developers doing exactly the same, also do it. It's your choice, and it's a choice of Umbraco and everyone else involved to do and to try what's the best for them and for all of us here.
Yep. So maybe because we've said that we're going to try and keep this shorter. Last week ran to 45 minutes, and we're going to try and make sure that this stays on time, 20-25 minutes type thing. So just a couple of last points then. So Mike, we noticed you've done a couple of open source contributions, pull requests to Umbraco this year. Care to say anything about that?
So last year at the hackathon, the UK Fest, that was the first time I'd ever done any contributions to the actual Umbraco code. I'd done some spell checking on the on R before, on documentation, I think even. But that was sort of being there with everyone else at the hackathon sort of encouraged me. Said, okay, actually, you don't have to do anything big and special, and it has to be some new crazy cool feature. It can just be fixing a little bug, and just taking a couple of hours. And obviously, not everyone has the time, but when I found I had a bit of spare time, I thought I'd give it a go. And this year, I thought, well, I only managed 2 as of last year, so I figured I'd at least try and double that this year. So I'm already on target. I'm on level of last year's number of commits. But the 2 things I've done this year are literally a couple of lines of code that I've changed. But it's the reason why I've been tweeting about it and trying to get exposure is just to encourage people to say, you don't have to do all the crazy difficult bugs. You can just find little tweaks. Sometimes they go a bit deeper than you expect. You just spend a bit more time. And that if you're not sure of something, if you get to a certain point and get stuck in anything, you just put a comment in the issues on in GitHub or something, or in Twitter or in R, and just ask the question, because the whole team is there and other community members are there to help. No one's going to say, oh, you're doing this all wrong. Or if you are doing it wrong, they're not going to tell you off it and go, have you considered trying it this way instead?
Yeah.
Trying to get more people.
Absolutely. Those little one-line code fixes are infinitely helpful. Like the things that maybe HQ don't have the time to do themselves. It's tiny snags that will make everyone's lives just incrementally a little bit better, easier.
Yeah. For example, to enable this functionality of comparing versions and to share URLs between multiple Chrome browsers and users, I've changed one method in the form from post to get. and that was my contribution, and it's changed the whole feature and bug which was missing someday. And I'm always mentioning to people who want to start to contribute that you don't need to help Elon Musk to colonize Mars. You can just change your one word in the form method to help other people use it in a more efficient way. So that a huge high five for you, Mike, for that. And I see that you are joining Callum in this 52 PRs mission.
I don't think I'll quite get that far, but you never know.
But don't do all of them in January.
Yeah, it's coming along, Callum.
Yeah, not great so far. I'm running a little bit behind, I'll be honest.
I'm sure you'll catch up.
I'll catch up.
So that's why we want to keep this episode short.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike, you are also a meetup organizer. Are you planning anything for the Kent meetup for this year?
Yes. So I'm currently in January, sort of no meetups this month. We sort of want to spend this time planning the year ahead, really. So I'm currently just on the lookout for general speakers. I'm going to try and spread the word a bit more and try and maybe reformat the meetup. So I think Bristol maybe do like at the beginning of each meetup they have news of the month sort of thing. I might try and implement something like that at the beginning of the meetups. I was before Christmas, I sent out a couple of messages to some of the community members that aren't in the UK to see if they'd be up for getting involved in sort of a Skype-based talk or a chat or something. And most people are sort of interested, so I've got quite a long list of people to get involved over Skype. Now I just need to get people coming over to Kent.
Nice.
Always looking for people to get involved. And the talk speaking is something that, if you're not sure about it, you can always come along and observe people. Or if you've got something very small that can take 5 minutes to discuss, you can come along with that. One thing we did a couple of months ago was just sort of an open discussion where we talked about packages. And it ended up, some people would say, I've heard of this package, and they'd speak about it for 10 minutes. That's a talk. That counts. It doesn't have to be talking about the latest and greatest implementation of Azure cognitive services to let Umbraco fold your clothes. It's
colonization of Mars. Yeah, that's good. That's a good plan, and we keep fingers crossed for growing of the Kent community. And I'm also trying to do exactly the same in Poland. So yeah, let's keep it up and let's focus on it this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some cheap flights to go to Poland.
And same here from here to Kent. Cool. So I think that we can wrap up and finish our episode. Do you have anything else to mention?
The only thing I had to mention was that Anders Transorensen from HQ is currently kind of touring around, and he's going to various goal partners and saying hello. He's in the Netherlands right now. He's been in the US a couple of weeks ago. Something I noticed on Twitter that I'm particularly jealous of is in the Perplex office. So Jeffrey Shoemaker, his team have a treehouse in their office, a wooden treehouse in their office. We'll post a link to the tweet, and I'm very jealous, and I'm going to try and get one here. But yeah, Anders is touring around, and he's going to various different goal partners and just checking in, seeing how they're going, seeing what they can do to help. So if you're a goal partner, probably expect him to come knocking at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So Mike, huge thank you, massive thank you for being here. All the best in the new year for everyone who is watching it, and yeah, we will see each other on the next umbraCoffee episode next week.
Cool. Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.